Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Spoop. I'm your host, Don, and hopefully I did this correctly. With me today is my beautiful co-host, Adele.
Let's go now to the screen. Hi.
Yeah, this is we're doing something different today.
Okay.
Yeah, so uh, Final Destination Bloodlines came out about 2 weeks ago, right? We went and saw it in theaters, remember?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Mr. Ben agree?
Prior to watching Final Destination's Bloodline, what did I make you do?
Oh well, we did watch all Final
Yeah,
Destination.
so we did a rewatch of the entire series of Final Destination, and unbeknownst to Adele, I'm going to make her rank all of the Final Destination movies from 1 to 6.
Um.
So we're going to talk about all 6 movies, and you're
Oh
going to tell me what
my.
you think, and I'm going to tell you what I think. We're going to post them up on this tier list
I
that should be showing on video.
I got confused which one is which
That's
because
okay.
there's a lot.
That's why you got me here. I know these things, even though I've been drinking. So, as per usual, when I record with my wife, the only way I can get her on camera is if I get her drunk.
Oh
So,
well.
oh, Ben, get out of here. Get that butt out of here, Ben. You're rude. You're big
Oh my
rude.
goodness, Mr. Ben. You step on this keyboard.
Yeah, I know he's rude. Anyway, as per usual, the only way I can get my wife to talk about stuff on camera is to get her drinking. So today we are once again having Jim Beam and Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, Pepsi.
But Diet Pepsi, thank you. Same, no difference.
Yep.
In theory, I have these set up correctly. This one here should be me. This one should be you, as we talk about each individual movie.
Okay.
So the question is, do you want to talk about them in order of release or in order of time, chronologically?
Maybe. Ouch. Maybe. I don't really care.
You gotta choose one.
Oh,
It's a 50
time.
50. You want time. So chronologically.
Yeah.
All right. So chronologically, the first movie is either, depending upon your perspective, Bloodlines or Final Destination 5. So Bloodlines technically starts in 1967, which is 32 to 33 years before the first Final Destination movie, depending upon which timeline you go with. Final Destination 5 takes place immediately before the first Final Destination. But the main events of Bloodlines happens after Final Destination 4, so I'm going to say that our first movie to talk about would be Final Destination 5. Do you remember anything about Final Destination 5?
Oh God. Mm, five.
Yeah, 5.
Um.
That was the bridge.
Oh yeah, the bridge is collapsed. Yeah, and uh, as always, the guy see the premonition that was gonna be happening, and then they are trying to escape, but they escape, but they died one by one.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about Final Destination 5 on a scale of 1 to 6?
Hmm. Um. 1 to 6.
So,
Scale one to
you have
six.
S, which is like absolutely fantastic, A, B, C, right, in the order that you would expect, and then F, absolute stinker. So, how do you feel about Final Destination 5?
Okay, it's gonna be maybe the first one is the best one, right?
So, you're going to just say point blank that you think Final Destination 1, make sure that, yeah, okay. Final Destination 1 is the best. That's your point blank opinion.
Yeah, I
Okay, yep.
guess.
That's acceptable. I also agree. So Final Destination 1, it's the beginning, right? It's what establishes the plot, establishes the concept, and everything about it from the acting to the death sequences to the questions it leaves behind are fantastic, right? So of the Final Destination movies, I don't think anybody would disagree that Final Destination 1 is the best.
Mm.
How do you feel about Final Destination 5?
The five is maybe in the middle.
Middle? Okay, so you would put Final Destination 5 B?
Yeah.
Okay. So Adele thinks Final Destination 5 in the middle, third, fourth best movie in the series. Me personally, Final Destination 5 has my absolute favorite
Second.
death in the entire series, which is the LASIK eye surgery death.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that scene.
The eyes.
Every time somebody at work tells me that they're getting LASIK, the first thing I ask them is, "Have you seen Final Destination 5?" Like, I love it. It's one of my absolute favorite.
There's one in the dentist, so I don't know what number is it.
That's the dentist is 2.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's, since you already brought it up, and we already talked about Final Destination 1, which will be next in the series. Again, the best. Final Destination 2. So Final Destination 2 is the one that has the scene that scarred an entire generation of Americans in the opening, which is the log truck.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about 2?
2 is number. Is it second?
So you think it's the second best? You're going to say that number 2 outranks 5 for you?
Um, the love. I might have to change it. Maybe 2 is the third one. Yeah.
So you want to put it here
Yeah.
as number 3, but
Yeah.
you want to leave 2 open? Number 2 open?
Super lace with
So
that
you,
one.
you want to you're going to agree with me now that 5
Mm-hmm.
is the best.
Yeah.
All right. So, not to copy my wife, but Final Destination 2. So, we're going to talk about Final Destination 3 here in a minute. Final Destination 2, I think, is fantastic. I love Final Destination 2. As I said, the log truck scarred an entire generation of Americans. Like, I cannot drive on the highway next to a log truck or a semi truck
Yeah.
and not.
Think about it.
Yeah, exactly. It has stuck with me my entire life. Also, the plot of Final Destination 2 is, besides the original Final Destination, the most prevalent in the series in the how to defeat death idea, right? Because they essentially state point blank in Bloodlines that the death and coming back from death is how you can defeat death, right? So 2 has a longer lasting kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Legacy, than pretty much any other movie besides, of course, the original. After Final Destination 2, we get to Final Destination 3. Oops, I actually swapped by an accident on my side because I labeled them wrong. So now we got to talk about Final Destination 3. Final Destination 3 was the one with the roller coaster and the pictures, right? Where she took the pictures of everybody before they were supposed to die and they didn't die. And that tells her how they're going to die. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about Final Destination 3?
It's gonna be in number letters. Yeah.
So, you're going to say right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it also in C. I do love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She is a phenomenal actress, and she's the main actress in Final Destination 3. I like the twist on the kind of pictures having a influence on their death, but then it also raises the important question of is like if they were all supposed to die on the roller coaster, then why would a premonition show up in the photo? And I don't think that that's ever really properly addressed. I also felt like the plot was just kind of less in 3 than in the other movies, right? Or the other ones we've already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Final Destination 4. NASCAR turn left. That's how they all die in the beginning. What do you think about Final Destination 4?
The um for the Nash?
F, absolutely. So Final Destination 4, I agree. Final Destination 4 is the absolute worst movie in the entire series,
Yeah.
right? Like from the NASCAR turn left opening of it, which is one of the things about the Final Destination movies, at least the first three, and then number five, is that it's an everyday action, right? People fly every day.
Mm,
People drive every
every day.
day. People regularly go to amusement parks and ride on roller coasters, right?
I don't.
There, but other people do,
Yeah.
right? So like that opening sequence, and then five with the bridge. Like a lot of people drive over bridges, right? But NASCAR, I'm not saying that people don't watch NASCAR, but NASCAR is niche, right? Not I've never seen a live car race in my life. I've done every other situation in the previous Final Destination movies, but I've never seen a race in my life that wasn't go-karts, right? So you start with that. And then you get that Final Destination 4 kind of takes the wackiness, right? Like the deaths in Final Destination 4 are wacky, right? The guy who is racist, so he gets dragged by his own car and bursts into flames.
Yeah.
I think 4 also had the guy who gets his inside sucked out through his butthole in the pool. Pretty
Yeah.
sure that was 4 as well.
He was
Just
rude.
just 4 was kind of like where they lost the thread, I guess is kind of how I want to put it, right? Like
Hmm.
they had a pretty good thing going, and 4 they decided to swing a little bit too wacky. And then obviously for me as an American, you can tell when a movie is intended to rely on the 3D gimmick. And I feel like watching Final Destination 4 not in 3D makes it less enjoyable than it would be. You got any other thoughts about Final Destination 4, my love?
Well, that was all.
All right. Final Destination Bloodlines, the one we just recently saw. So, where would you put Final Destination Bloodlines?
Hmm. What are the options?
One, two, three, four, five, or six?
Oh, well, that was all died at the end.
They did all die at the end, but that also happened in all of them except for the first two.
Yeah. Um, hmm.
Hmm.
Maybe second?
Second. So you're going to say you like Bloodlines better than 5.
Yeah.
Why?
Um, because they are, I think, because the grandmother tried to like save them.
That is true. She
Yeah.
purposefully killed herself to save them.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Spoiler alert for Bloodlines. If you've not seen Bloodlines yet, we are going to talk about it without concern of spoilers because I don't think Adele understands what spoilers are. So, my love, continue.
Yeah.
So you like the fact that the grandma was trying to protect them. Okay,
Hmm.
what else? What else? What makes it better in
And
your opinion?
then I think they are still alive. Maybe that happened in the end that they're all dead. Maybe there was a premonition, but they're still alive. I was hoping.
So for those of you who have seen Bloodlines, there is a fan theory out there that that final scene is actually Stephanie's vision of what is about to happen, and they have the opportunity to prevent it. There are some hints for it, the blood or the poking the finger with a rose, that sort of stuff. Um, so that is true. That is definitely a thing. So that's you like it because grandma and because the possibility that they might not have all died at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, and that makes it better than Final Destination 5.
Hmm.
All right. So finally, I'm going to disagree with my wife on
Okay.
the placement of one of these movies. So it's not a huge disagreement. I'm going to put it in the range with Final Destination 3. I don't know if I liked Bloodlines better than 3 or if I like 3 better than Bloodlines. I'm undecided at the moment. But it's in the same tier. It's in the B tier, which really honestly these tiers aren't very fair because both 3 and Bloodlines are very good. They're
Hmm.
just not quite as good as 5, right? But I really like Bloodlines. I liked the deaths. I felt that the CGI, because there's a lot of CGI in it, but I felt the CGI was very well used. There was a good sense of humor for it, but the characters were all very one dimensional, right? Like there you had no connection to anybody except for Eric, really.
Yeah.
He's the one who gets pulled into the MRI machine. He's really the only character that I felt any connection to, and he's not the main character or even close to the main character, right? But the music in it is really good. The special effects I thought were very well done. I enjoyed every single death. I definitely like you remember watching me cringe over some of the scenes in this movie. Like it was very well done. It's a very good return to form. It makes me excited because Final Destination 7 has already been greenlit. So I'm definitely going to go see Final Destination 7. I don't know. Adele might not go with me because she has sworn off Final Destination movies due to the fact that everybody dies at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she may or may not go with me to see Final Destination
We'll
7
see. Yeah.
when it comes out, which will probably be in like two
Hopefully
more
they don't
years.
die. Or they will survive. Some of
Yeah.
them.
Maybe they'll figure out a way to conquer death. I also really like the closure that it brought to Tony Todd's character as William Bloodworth, especially because Tony Todd died shortly after filming.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Nah.
Yeah, so Tony Todd's dead. The guy, the black guy,
Oh.
he's dead, and he died like a month or two after they filmed.
Poor guy.
Yeah, but so he knew it was. Everybody knew it was going to be his final role. There's a bunch of articles about it on the internet where they talk about how his that last line that he gives, that last little spiel
Oh.
that he
Poor
gives,
guy.
he wrote that himself. The
Yeah.
thing about like
I think
enjoying
the
life.
people who's dying in real life, they consider premonition. That's why they are not doing that on purpose, but they will speak or something like that is like,
He knew he was going to
yeah.
go, and he made a speech essentially, and that's
How
the
he died?
cancer. I want to say it was stomach cancer.
Poor guy.
I'm 99.9% sure it was stomach cancer.
Is it colon cancer?
I no, I think stomach, not colon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, and we're in the middle of a video, so I can't look it up.
I'll see what I know Google here.
That's true. Hey Google, what did Tony Todd die of? Stomach cancer
Yeah.
at the age of 69. Nice. From stomach cancer. So, but yeah, so his whole that speech and how it ends with enjoy life while you can, essentially,
Yeah.
was him speaking directly to the
Maybe
audience.
he doesn't enjoy his life because he's busy at working.
You don't think he enjoyed it? Or you
That's
think
why he said to people because he might, not enjoying his life to the fullest because he was busy with something. Right.
you should think about that when you're scheduling yourself for 18-hour work days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's 18.
Yeah.
18 workouts.
Don't even think about it. No. Anyway, so
Well,
yeah, that's our tier list for Final Destination. So to recap, Adele, number one, Final Destination one.
mm-hmm.
Number two, Bloodlines.
Okay.
Number three, five.
Mm-hmm.
Number four, two.
Mm-hmm.
Number five, three, and of course the stinker is the Final Destination or Final Destination 4.
Yeah.
Okay? And then to recap for me, Final Destination 1, fantastic. Final Destination 5, my next favorite. Again, nothing beats the LASIK eye surgery death. It is the best thing. I love it. I don't know why, but
Um.
by far my favorite death in the entire series. And then I'm torn between liking Final Destination 3 or Bloodlines better. Bloodlines had a lot of way cooler deaths and fantastic music. But 3, I actually gave a crap about the actors and the characters in it.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about anybody in Bloodlines besides watching how they died, which is a good callback to old school slasher films. So that's a whole different story. And then fifth, Final Destination 3, and then finally, obviously, the worst Final Destination movie of all time, Final Destination 4. So, all that being said, my love, do you have anything else that you would like to say to the internet?
That's all.
All right, well, that's all she says. So, okay, thanks. Oh, wait, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, let her know what you think about our thoughts on Final Destination as a series, and, help us build this community.
Mhm.
Hmm